In this video, I'm going to show you the indicator that has triggered the last two crypto bull run cycles. And look, guys, I get it. Everyone is bearish right now. Bitcoin is coming down, especially altcoins. But this indicator, which covers not just crypto itself, but the economy, has triggered the last two cycles. And it looks like it's triggering this next one. Okay, before I get onto this indicator, I just want to share this right here. My WAP, I have transitioned from Patreon to WAP. And if you guys are interested in my indicators, I have three tiers, right? The first tier, bronze tier, $8. I don't think it's a bad deal, especially I'll show you some of my indicators, how accurate they've been. Then the silver tier, 35, 3, and it shows you all the benefits right here. It's on WAP. It's gonna be in my pinned comment. WAP is a very great app. It's been growing so much, and I can actually integrate TradingView on it, so you guys can access it in a very easy way. Okay, so definitely check it out. And it's also, I have a free version here, free tier, which just includes my Telegram and my alerts channel, which basically shares, all my buys and sells, as well as, anything that I'm interested in my alerts channel. But you guys can check it out. This will also be where my course is coming out in a couple weeks. It's going to be on WAP. There's going to be a tier that says going to be my course, and it's going to be on here in the first 3 days. I'm going to have a big discount, so watch out for that. But let's take a look here at this indicator that has triggered the last two cycles. And you're going to see right here, I'm going to have a lot of charts here so you guys can see. But this indicator is the M2 money supply. And we can see right here, this is the money. This is a chart right here of it showing here of it going up, right? You can see the M2 money supply is starting to move up. And right here, my chart, you can see that it's right here. This is actually a free indicator. You can just search up. It doesn't show you for a year. You just search up M2 Global Liquidity Index, and you should have it on your chart. But we can see that this is starting to run up, right? I'm here on the daily for Bitcoin, and this is Bitcoin in the back, and M2 money supply is this one right here in purple or black. And you can see that we're starting to get a move up here. Okay, and you can see before we had this run here from 60, 49K to 108K, we saw M2 money supply take off, right? And then since then, it came down, and then the market came down. So you got to understand the M2 money supply, it's a lagging indicator for the market, meaning after it takes off like this, it takes a couple months for Bitcoin and the economy to really take off. And that's exactly what happened. You can see how it runs up here, back here in July of 2024. And Bitcoin even comes down more, but then it takes off to 100. It goes up like 50, 60%, right? And then the same thing here. You see how it's coming down, right? Even though it's making all-time highs here, since it's been coming down, we came down with it. It took a couple months, but we came down. And we can still come down here. I'm going to show you some resistance and support levels very soon for Bitcoin. But now M2 money supply is starting to run up, right? You can see right here, it's starting to run up. And I just want to show you this from before, right? This was back in the pandemic times. You can see how M2 money supply have just been stagnant here, right? And then we have the pandemic, which obviously triggered quantitative easing, right? Stimulus checks, all these loans, government was giving out money, printing money like crazy. And you can see how it starts to run up big, big, big. And Bitcoin starts to follow it. It goes parabolic, and the M2 money supply is just taking off until, the end of the bull market, where we have quantitative tightening, and we go, the government puts rates to record highs, right? That's what happened in 2022, 2023. And you can see it coming down here. Hence the best times to buy right here during the bear market. But now we're starting to move up, right? Where we've been in this nice uptrend, and we can see that we've been starting to move up. And look, this doesn't mean Bitcoin is going to go up tomorrow or even next month, but very, very soon. I mean, this could take 2 months to play out, right? Maybe even a month and a half, right? But very, very soon, we're going to start to see Bitcoin take off here, because we can see how M2 money supply has such a huge influence with Bitcoin and the rest of the market. And, Trump has hinted on that. He wants to lower the rates, right? And, if he can't get Powell to lower the rates, he's going to do things like tariffs and all these things to really bring down the market for them to lower the rates, or other ways that he can add quantitative easing, like a Doge checks or something like that. So I also want to show you. So I showed you that chart. We can also see right here. This is also the other chart, which we can see M2 money supply compared to Bitcoin. You can see how it's starting to run up, You can see right here, Bitcoin is coming down, but M2 money supply is starting to move up, right? We can also see this other chart. This chart actually shows you the last 2 cycles where M2 money supply, we crossed the 100 EMA, I believe, right here at the bottom. So the bull run right here, the first one, which was back when Trump was elected, we can see how we crossed over it, the 100 EMA, right? And then Bitcoin as well, and then we go up big, right? This was the first cycle in 2017 with the M2 money supply. And then right here, this was a huge, I mean, we just went vertical here because of the pandemic, right? With basically stimulus checks and all the money printing, which caused it. And then what happened? Bitcoin, V-shaped recovery, and it just goes parabolic. And now you can see right here the M2 money supply crossing over that 100 EMA, I believe, right there, right? It's just starting to, and we can see I'm showing that it's starting to move up, and it's in this nice uptrend. And Bitcoin, even though it's coming down, we're most likely going to go, we're moving from quantitative tightening to quantitative easing. We're in that transition. And the thing you guys got to understand is during that transition, just like the transition right here, we had a huge drop for Bitcoin. So, it doesn't mean the drop is over, but this is a great way to see that Bitcoin was most likely going to come down, right, for a big correction. And, I feel like everyone is over exaggerating this drop, but you guys got to just look at this and be like, okay, Bitcoin is basically coming down here to where it topped out here back in March of 2024. Okay, because what happened, we can see right here, March 2024, right here, we hit, before the halving, 74K. And then we come down here to 49K. And there were so many people that called that as the top. Everyone was saying, oh yeah, that was the top. Yeah, Bitcoin topped out before the halving. This is the first time, blah, blah, blah. And guess what? Huge wick back up, right? Bear trap right there. And then we move up. Now we're coming down to that same level right here. So this is the way I would, if Bitcoin is super bearish, we would lose that 74, 73K, 70K, and then that becomes resistance. If that happens, that is very bearish, right? But so far, Bitcoin has been holding this trend line right here, which it's been holding here since the 49K and the 25K. It's at a major support level right here. So I'm giving you the resistance and support levels. It's still holding it. Even though all coins are dumping, it's still holding it. If it loses that, obviously it's going to come here to 73K. And if it loses that 73, 74K to where from where it topped out, it's definitely, the next trend line is right here around 66K. Okay. But if it comes that low, right? If Bitcoin dumps to 66K and then it holds 70K as resistance, very bearish. I don't believe it will do that, but I'm just showing you guys here a scenario. Now, if we do dump that low and we come back up, right, we can potentially put in the head and shoulders. That's another thing you got to watch out for. So if we do dump that low, but then we have a major rise here where we take make a higher low here, 95, right, around the 90s, 93, which is a big point of control for Bitcoin, 93 range, then, it's looking like a head and shoulders to the downside. So I'm giving you some scenarios here of what can happen here for Bitcoin. Okay. But in reverse, I'm super bullish because the M2 money supply, it's going up. And we know that has a huge influence in Bitcoin and the rest of the markets. So I'm super bullish regarding the M2 money supply. Let me actually see right here in the chart. And another thing too that's super bullish is the DXY. Right, the DXY, which is also in correlation with the previous bull markets, as you can see, it's coming down big. Right, we already lost the 104 support, right, 104, and we're coming down here to 100 for the DXY, which is the next level support. So most likely, if we are very bullish for Bitcoin, what's going to happen is we're going to come down here, lose that 100, and then we're probably going to dump down here to this level, which could be the top of the bull market. If the DXY dumps all the way down here to 89, right, and Bitcoin is possibly at 150 or 174, which I believe the top could be in, or even 200K, right? I mean, it could dump down lower if it's at 200K Bitcoin. I mean, we could definitely see the DXY dump down lower. But I'm just sharing this because we can see last times here from 2021, right, the DXY, we can see it dumping down here, and and it going up here in 2022. So I'm just showing you a scenario to where the DXY, it's coming down big to test the next level here at the 100, the next huge support. And again, coming down there, Bitcoin is gonna move up, and if it loses this, I mean, Bitcoin is probably gonna make the last leg up to possibly 174 to 200K. So you want to be prepared to take profits if that happens. But the DXY is looking good here for Bitcoin, moving up, right? As well as the USDT. We can see right here the USDT. Let me just share right here with you. Right, I believe the USDT, even though it's going up right now, obviously with Bitcoin coming down, I believe it's still in this long-term downtrend, as you can see. And I believe it's going to come down to this region. So once you see the USDT come down to this region, I think this is probably the best time to take profits. Probably when you're going to see Bitcoin on 150, 200K. Okay, or in the altcoin season and all that. So I still believe it's going to come down. It's still in this downtrend. And this is a great chart that shows you that it's a great time to buy, right? We're at the top high here, the resistance level here for this downtrend for the USDT, which I believe we're going to start to move down and then break that support to come down here to basically where we were here in 2021 levels. Okay, so just wanted to share this with you guys. Also, guys, in the WAP, I don't just have indicators, I have charts. Okay, a lot of the charts, like this USDT, my Bitcoin chart, which has Fibonacci, all of that is going to be in the tiers, as you can see right here. The silver tier, you get 3 indicators, all the charts, my watch list, Fibonacci settings, and what's awesome, the gold tier is all my future indicators and my present ones. So if I make new ones, I'm always making new ones, you'll get them as well. So definitely check it out, guys, and check out my course coming out soon. Love you guys so much. Comment below what you guys think, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.